friends, good morning to all of you. The issue that I'm going to share with you is that it is very sensitive one, and I urge all of you to hold your emotions, and I will do as well. The very recent news came out about the death of civilians in the conflict of Israel and Palestine. Do you know the conflict and its reason for that? Why this conflict has the repercussions, global repercussions, and since 1948 or go back to 1937 when the British was occupied and they divided their territory and settled the Jews there. Whatever the Jewish claim is, I'm not going to in detail about the matter, but the concern is that there is less than 10,000 kilometers square of both territory. If you add Israel, occupied Israel territory, and whatever the Israel has got their land as a UN resolution, and the Palestine, if I add the Mr. Blinken, the Secretary of State of United States, Antony Blinken, is now has gone to Israel, and he is actually saying that both the party involved into the very recent conflict when the very civilian was killed by Israeli forces, and the Israeli forces was being killed by the civilians there. Both the incidents happen, some people being killed on this side or that side. But what is the way forward? I would say the way forward should be that both the country should rejoin to each other and live peacefully and name the country by joining these two words. Okay, this is I think the way forward. Both because of there is some landmass, mostly 10,000 kilometers square are there. So if they both come together and live in harmony, then there is a solution. Of course, that is the solution. Otherwise, if the 1967 resolution by the UN General Assembly, United Nations resolution, whatever they have bifurcated the two land, Palestine into and Israel. Does this is the solution? I don't think this is the solution. This is a political strategy, I would say, that because of there is a injustice in the name of justice. I would say that there is injustice in the name of justice. You cannot expect from the United Nations Security Council, where 3 permanent members are one-sided and one independent member and one is Russia is anti to the West. So you cannot expect from UN that the outcome from this institution will do the justice. So injustice in the name of justice. There is one problem, that is religious problem. I would say that this is a very nonsense thing. In my point of view and my views, I don't consider religion as a factor, but the exposure that I am getting from the society and the our co-citizens and the global citizens as well, they are mostly integrated with their religious feelings, affiliations. So this is a very grave concern as well, because of there is Christians and Jews and Muslims. Christians and Jews are making their friendly relations against Muslim community, third one, and they are both are cooperating to each other. One is supporting to another. United States supporting Israeli government, and in Six-Day War in 1967, when Israeli fought with Arab nations and defeated them all and put the condition whatever the Israelis were thinking. This is actually the fact, the political win, the military win and the political win. So the concept of the solution that they must have to follow, otherwise people are being killed. 5, 10, 50 people are being killed. One day there would be graveyards, nothing would left, and humanity are being crushed on the foot of the soldiers. We must have to reconsider this as a human being. Then we would be able to resolve the situations. I want to give some backgrounds of the Palestinian and Israeli conflict. Six-Day War 1967. Palestinian territory are the two regions of the former British Mandate for Palestine and have been militarily occupied by Israel since the Six-Day War of 1967, namely the West Bank, including the Eastern Jerusalem and the Gaza Strip, given to the Palestine, and rest all are occupied by the Israel. The International Court of Justice, ICJ, very recently the Israeli government or Hamas, they are militant groups. Someone says that they are militant group, someone says that they are raising their voice for their rights. So what can I say there? But the International Court of very recently, the Israeli said that whatever the view, whatever the decision given by the ICJ, we are not bound by that. United Nations General Assembly, Security Council, whatever they say, I am not bound by that. I will do my own course of action, whatever will be needed in the future. I will employ every action because of this is the question of existence of Israel and the Jewish peoples as well. So Israel is not going to suppose anybody's view or anybody's else their thinking, their mentality, but the militarily he will defend itself. This is the statement given by the Israeli Prime Minister, and it is shown in their attitude as well. You can see their attitude of Israel is not bound by any mechanism of international justice, whatever he is may call. I would say that the International Court of Justice has referred to the West Bank, including Eastern Jerusalem, as the occupied Palestinian territory. Okay, ICJ has given their judgment decisions. The West Bank belongs and Jerusalem belongs to Palestine, and Israel has occupied it by force. And this term was used as a legal definition by the ICJ in its advisory opinion of July 2004. The term occupied Palestinian territory was used by the United Nations and other international organizations between October 1999 and December 2012 to refer to the areas controlled by the Palestine National Authority. But from 2012, when the Palestinian was admitted as one of its non-member observer states, the United Nations started using exclusively the name of State of Palestine. There is no representation of Palestine in the United Nations, This is the political failure of Muslim world. I would say that this is the political failure of particularly Muslims. I am going to criticize very stringent words to these Muslims leaders, whole world Muslim leaders. There is no any Muslim leader. I don't mean that you have to only support the Muslim cause, but your stature must be up to the level of that your voice must be heard by the people, and not to go into deliver injustice or anything else such type of things. Many Muslim countries are there, approximately 60, but no one has any leader that has a global structure up to the whatever their mental ideology, mental psyche. They are very much kind of backward thinking people. I'm using very strict word. They are not following the path of justice. Rather, they are following the path of whatever they call. Their mind is actually irrational. They don't think rationally. What present situations demand, they don't think about this. Cooperation, coordination, love and affection, they don't know, I think. There is no cooperation, no clear-cut idea whenever they are uh, being mentally pressed, they are following a very extremist idea, a very extremist path, which is going to against the humanity as well. They must have to think rationally and make coordination, cooperation with the like-minded nations. I'm not teaching anybody. I'm very much, uh, you know, puzzled by such kind of things. Just like Sahansa, their acts is kind of this. They must have to change their way and cooperate with international institutions and raise their global stature, morality, and love for the justice and international rule-based, order-based thing. They must have to raise their voice and their character as well. That's why the people start listening about their ideas. Otherwise, the thing that is happening, everybody, you just see the whenever they are being getting pressure, they are following extremist path. So this is by this way you are not going to get any result. Okay, you must have to cooperate with the international community and international laws and take a right and rational decisions. Take it India and Pakistan border. See what is happening. India has more Muslim population than Pakistan has, but there is no representation of India into the Muslim community. Why? I don't know. Pakistan always raising objections, and he has only nuclear program against India. The Pakistan nuclear program is only against India. Their hate and their mental psyche, you just learn. What their thinking is. Set aside this rascal, but the Iran and the Middle East countries and go into African countries. They all have no political asset. They don't have. They are economically weaker. Their voice is not being heard. So who is going to defend you? I would urge that not to go through the path of terror or become a terrorist, because you will get exposed when you are following this path. Your voice is not would be heard by the people. Your cause would be ruined. No meaning if you are following the path of terrorism or etc. If you want to raise your voice, you have to go through the legal means as well. Follow the path of legal means and raise your voice and global stature. You are the 60 countries supporters. Suppose you have the supports of 60 countries, your voice must be stronger. So every Muslim country is believing the Palestinian cause, and they are Palestinian are being exposed to a hard military corps, and they are being suppressed and being killed. So the very incident that has happened. Because of I'm making my video for that incident, I am very puzzled and anguished by the video that I got on the YouTube, that when the Israeli forces was killed, Palestinian women's or men's were dancing. This is the utter representation of your mental activity. You all are mentally sick. You are not dancing on these soldiers, death of these soldiers. You are exposing your mindset. Hold on your emotions and act in the rationally. You don't have emotions, empathy, compassion towards the soldier's life, and the soldiers as well. Soldiers are the soldiers. There is only political solutions can be possible. Soldiers are not the bad persons. They have got the order that they have to keep law and order situations there. But you must have to go and find out the political solutions. If you go back to 1.5 years back, there was a conflict situation. Many rockets are being launched by terrorists, whatever they call Palestinian activists or militants, whatever they are. They fired Israel many rockets and missiles, whatever they call them. And Israel accordingly disproportionate used the fire to suppress them. What consequences they will get? Only people are being killed, properties are being damaged, you are economically bankrupt, you're no political asset, you are socially and economically isolated by the world, your people are being killed. Many factors are against you. If you want to get a solution, you must have to find out the political solutions. And if there is, I told you, 10,000 kilometers square, you won't have land, Palestine, Israel adding. Why not you have to make cooperation with the people and live together? After all, you are the people. Your leader must have to say and convince all of the citizens to cooperate each other. Otherwise, bit by bit, slicing by slashing the Palestinian territory, Israelis occupying whole territory, and you would have the people lost, the everything lost, and after all you will succumbed to the Israel, and nothing would be left. So it would be my advice to you, the way forward is that you have to accumulate and live peacefully. Thank you very much, but I'm very disappointed and very puzzled and very anguished by the getting the news. Always people are being killed and humanity are being suppressed. Thank you very much. If anyone has felt anything bad, I would say sorry for that. Thank you very much.